I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning oil. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, the books were opened.
I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory, and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Psalm 110. The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou at my right hand, until I make thine enemies thy footstool. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. In the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth. The Lord hath sworn, and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. The Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall wound the heads over many countries. He shall drink of the brook in the way. Therefore shall he lift up the head.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into today is going into 1 Peter, the 3rd chapter, okay, and it deals with the inward man, mainly speaking, of the spirit. When it says inward man, speaking of the spirit, and it deals with, addressing, the conduct, okay, of women and what's expected of them in the beginning of the chapter. We're going to touch on those things because remember, the Apostle Peter is pretty much doing a follow-up, epistle, to the epistles that had been sent out, by the Apostle Paul when he was living, because Apostle Paul had recently, been beheaded, okay, and Apostle Peter, all right, the head of the church, all right, was touching base, all right, with the Israelite foreigners, whom the Apostle Paul had the office. So he's going to reinforce, particular things, that we read in the epistles of Apostle Paul and the 1 Corinthians, and the previous, other epistles as well, but mainly, 1 Corinthians, addressing particular things that was going on in the church, and we know that these things were meant, for our learning today, because we find ourselves, all right, as believers, in these similar situations that the churches, all right, those Israelite foreigners coming out of the world, was finding themselves in, and that's why, these epistles are so valuable, like they'll say, in music, something that's timeless, Okay, well, these epistles are timeless. Okay, because they benefit us today within our walk. All right, so you go here to 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1, and it says, likewise, you wives, be in subjection, okay, to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. Now let's read this in the NLT. In the same way, you wives must accept the authority of your husbands, okay, and just that part alone, this society, cultivated rebellious women, okay? They glorified, the independent woman, the woman that can't be told anything, okay? The woman being over the man, the woman being the head, all right? Was just anti-Messiah, that's really satanic, and that's rebellion against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, and when and coming up, we didn't think of it to be that serious, okay? But as we mature in righteousness, man, we see that mindset is ultimately a rebellion against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua and the order that he established, okay? So, first phase, because with the woman and with, the men that believe and the women that believe, there's similar things that we go through, we become the outcasts of our families, okay? As we separate, from the paganism, the pagan customs, okay? But then there's different things that we go through, all right? And with the woman, all right, being glorified and put on the pedestal and, being not held accountable in this society, cultivated to rebel, all right, it's a heavy demon that women have to shake off, man. And being in subjection to a man goes against everything that the woman was taught, okay, from her family, probably from her mother, probably from their grandmother, because you got third, fourth generations of feminism, You see the aunties, the music videos, the neighborhood, the school, they shovel that, that rebellion down a woman's throat as if it was the right thing to do. Okay, matter of fact, let's get this real quick in Isaiah. All right, Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. It says, woe unto them of destruction that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Okay, and this man, one of his biggest deceptions is the whole family dynamic and the order of husband and wife, especially amongst the tribes, because the main target was the tribes, man, because no one was affected by feminism like the tribes, man, especially of the Southern Kingdom, man. Okay, no other race of women was more affected by feminism than the women of the tribes, man. Okay, and that was intentional, you see, and this man put that as the way to be. Okay, that anything outside of that you was settling as a woman. Listening to a man, that was degrading yourself. Okay, saying that you need a man, that was degrading yourself. Okay, so one of the biggest things that women have to overcome, okay, is their rebellion. All right, that rebellious spirit that this society cultivated, man, especially over here in the West, in America, man. Okay, now, going back, and as we come into the truth, we began to seek the old paths, man. Before westernization. You see, it's a topic for El Zahab. Before westernization. That's the new man that we're becoming. Okay, is that pre-westernization Israelite. Okay, this is no, I think it's 6, Jeremiah 6. Okay, and 16, it said, thus said the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, stand ye in the way and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and you shall find rest for your souls. But they said we will not walk therein. And that's the majority of our people that refuse to walk in the old way. All right, but as we've been awakened to this gospel, okay, we begin to move and operate in those old paths, man. Okay, that order that was set up from the beginning in righteousness, man. Okay, the order in which we was winning. Okay, that's the order when the Israelite man was in order under Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, and the Israelite woman was in order under the Israelite man, we won. Okay, check the stats. We were winning, beyond winning. Okay, it's when we break away from that order, all right, it's a shit show. Okay, and you have what we have today, okay, as black culture, nigga culture, okay, popping the balloon, you know, it through. Okay, so let's go back to 1 Peter 3 and 1 in the NLT says, in the same way, you wives must accept the authority of your husbands. Then even if some refuse to obey the good news, your godly lies will speak to them without any words. They will be won over. Okay, so you women have to understand you should be an embodiment of what's being taught. Okay, and you can't have a respected person just because your husband is not in the truth. Like, nah, you still gotta be in order. You know, you should still be a representation of this wisdom that you learn. Okay, because we don't promote, all right, leaving your husband based on him not being a non-believer. Okay, because and the scriptures don't promote that. All right, whatever. See, the apostles, they was writing these things because you had, you know, women leaving their husband and getting with other men that believed, and, you know, and that was breaking up houses. Okay, you see, that was breaking up housing, had people mad at the gospel. You know, like, nah, that ain't what the gospel about. The gospel, they was encouraged, they would pretty much turn the gospel into a damn wife swap, man. Okay, so Apostle Paul was like, he had to call a time out, like, nah, y'all doing too much. Okay, so that's why you go to the book of Corinthians. Okay, but nah, that ain't the play. Okay, now start at 1 Corinthians 7. All right, and 10. 1 Corinthians 7 and 10 says, unto the married I command ye not. All right, it says, and unto the married I command ye not, but the Lord. Let the wife, all right, let not the wife depart from her husband. Okay, so if you're married, you come into this truth and you begin to believe as a woman and your husband don't believe, that doesn't give you, all right, to go ahead to separate from him because he doesn't believe. Okay, you got to deal. You see, you got to deal in righteousness, man, because that's everybody got their suffering, you know, to go through. Okay, and we come from a society to where, you know, the woman has been given all this liberty. Okay, to where she'll leave Jake because he cut his dreads. You know, some simple shit, you know, jumping in and out of relationships and getting back with your ex 3-4 times and getting new, you know, taking a break from your ex and getting with somebody else and all this, you know. the chaos that come with that, you see. And you know, women are so used to, you know, just making these impulsive decisions in the moment, okay, to have these long-term effects. Okay, that's what this world, you know, cultivated. You know, women just to be in relationship after relationship, going back and forth between two dudes and leave them two dudes alone and go start some more shit and all this. Nah, you know. So you come into the truth, all right. There's a standard now. Okay, and it ain't, you can't just move around and do what you want to do. You don't have that liberty in the truth to do that, which ultimately that does nothing but the woman lose at the end. Okay, the woman catches the worst at the end when she starts to operate like that, and then she ends up traumatized from all these different relationships. Okay, dysfunctional families, when you start adding children from different men and all this, the woman gets the brunt of it. Okay, so this order was being put out to call. The Apostle Paul was going into this to bring order to a situation that was already tacky. Okay, because when we wake up to this truth, we be in all type of little tacky situations, man. Brothers, some sisters, man, be in all type of little, tacky situations. Okay, so these orders that's coming to the churches was to bring some type of structure, okay, to the dysfunction that was already happening, man. Okay, so you keep reading. It says, and unto the married I command ye not, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. Yeah, so once you understand this thing, but once we come into this truth, now we come under expectation and a standard. Okay, the same way that we're going to get, same way we have the perks of having faith and understanding when it comes to the scriptures, the Holy Spirit. The Lord keeps showing us that He's dealing in different ways. We keep getting these confirmations and spiritual boosting. Understanding of prophecy. Okay, there's a standard that comes with that. So the same way the Lord is giving us these gifts in the Spirit, well, there's an expectation that comes with that. There's a standard that we have to uphold on our end that comes with that, man. Okay, we can't move off world protocol in the truth, man. All right, even as men, the way we deal now with women, we can't deal like we used to deal, man. Okay, you can't do a woman that believes like you would do a woman in the world. It's a different protocol. You see? So even as men, we can't move like we moved in the world. There's a certain way that we should move. Okay? So, because you have men that come in and their wives don't believe. Okay? But as Apostle Paul going to go into, it says, but to the rest, verse 11 said, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband be put away his wife. Yeah, so, and that cut out, the woman, from dealing with this brother for 4 months, and, it ain't what she thought it was, and now she's with another brother. Nah. Okay? There has to be order. Okay? There has to be a standard. You see? Or it's just going to be dysfunction and confusion. And we don't want the dysfunction from the world to bleed into the congregation, man. To flow into the congregation, man. Okay? We don't want black community problems to be a part of this ministry, be a part of the truth, man. Okay? So, verse 12, and it says, but to the rest speak I. So this is the Paul, all right, speaking in the Spirit. All right, he's giving a spiritual advice, for those in these circumstances. And it says, but to the rest speak I, not the Lord, if any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. And the woman which have an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. Okay? So if the unbelieving husband or unbelieving wife is pleased to dwell, y'all just got differences in beliefs. Okay? You're supposed to deal. You're not supposed to uproot yourself. Okay? And then it's, everybody got different situations. Some people lives are more intertwined than others, children, houses, cars, and you might be married according to Esau's paperwork. It's a lot to factor in, but at the end of the day, if she, all right, or he, the unbelieving husband or wife, is pleased, to dwell, you got to deal. And while you're in that situation, our conduct should be a reflection of what we're learning. Okay? There's wisdom that we get. Okay? As men, we should become more responsible, more reliable. We should be, have more control over our lusts. Okay? We should be maturing as men. Okay? And as a woman, you should mature in your obedience, man. And understanding your place. Okay? And still serving your husband. Okay? And that's what pleased the Lord. A woman that's in order is a pleasing thing to the Lord, which Apostle Peter is going to get into that. Okay? Verse 14. And it says, for the unbelieving husband, all right? It says, for the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy. Yeah, because, and the reason why you can't tell a woman to leave her husband because he don't believe, or a brother to leave his wife because she don't believe, okay, it's because you don't know what the Lord's going to do. The Lord, like it says, the man can be won over by the conduct of the wife. And he finally come in, y'all got children now, everybody covered, or vice versa. The woman could eventually, believe, okay, y'all got children together now, everybody covered, man. So we don't know what the Lord going to do, okay, in anyone's particular situation, but just that up and leaving and, because a difference of beliefs, all right, that's not the play, Now, like I say, every situation got this certain variables or whatever to it. This is not to get into a case-by-case thing, okay, but just that general perspective, the apostles was pushing order to these churches, so it wouldn't be dysfunctional, man. Okay, so the ministry and the edification could keep going forth. Okay, now let's go here, and it's a thing of suffering in certain situations. King David, he couldn't just kill Saul and Saul was trying to kill him, but he had to suffer that thing out, until the Lord intervened. The Lord gonna intervene. If you part of the elect as a man or a woman, the Lord gonna intervene and make it right before them chariots come back. Okay? Joseph, he was in prison 12 years wrongfully. He got lied on that he was in prison 12 years. All he could do was suffer and wait it out. Okay? But then you look at the glory on the back end that King David got, that Joseph got. Okay? For that long suffering, man. Because King David was on the run several years, man. Okay? And the only discrepancy that's up to the man and the woman is the believing man or woman. Because it says if she be pleased or he be pleased, well, they look different, for everybody. So there's things you have to pray on, but there's a suffering to it, man. We be in situations, brothers be in situations to where we have to suffer. The Lord calls us to suffer in certain situations, but then it's about us. It's something in us that we got to change. Okay, it's something in us that got to be purged while the Lord allow us to be in these positions of suffering, man. Suffering wrongfully. Okay, but the worst thing to do is play the victim in any situation, because you're not gonna grow. When we play the victim, we don't grow. Okay, you just want to vent and let people hear how wrong we're being done. But we gotta always look inwardly in every situation, man. Okay, and see what's trying to be purged. Ask the Lord, what are you trying to purge? Like, what do you want me to see? You gotta talk to the Father. You gotta talk to Big Brother. Like, what do you want me to see? What do I need to change? Because it's a constant thing of making adjustments and growing in this thing. Okay, so he'll have you in a certain situation. You see, for suffering, to put you in a circumstance of suffering, so we can level up in the spirit. Certain qualities that he's purging out of us, man, and it only can be purged out through suffering, man. And another thing I say, these, 'cause a woman love to play like Jake just showed up one day, like you. A lot of times, y'all know what type of man he be before he put one T-shirt in the closet. You know what type of man this is, man. For the most part. You see? So it ain't like Jake just fell out the sky and landed on the couch with the remote. And put it on the Cowboys game. So hey, you gotta add that into it too. So and one thing, boy, I scratch my head to this day, boy. Shit, the woman can pick 'em, goddamn. Shit, I ain't seen nothing like it. The woman can goddamn pick 'em, boy. Shit. But hey, that is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's just order and protocol according to the spirit, that was being pushed in the churches. So let's go back to 1 Peter. All right, this is the book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 2. It says, while they behold your chaste conversation, okay, coupled with fear, and it's your conduct, the conversation going to your conduct, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and the wearing of gold and the wearing of, it says, wearing of gold or putting on apparel, but let it be, all right, the hidden man, the spirit of the heart, okay, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the Most High a great price, man. Okay? So, when you go into this, when it says, whose adorning, let it not be the outward adorning of the plait in the hair, which, there's nothing wrong with a woman, getting done up, looking nice, putting on nice clothes and doing your hair and the accessories, but that shouldn't be what make you, man. See, we live in a society to where, women that look good, okay, or have a, certain body, okay, they've been pampered, what they call in this society pretty girl privilege, okay, and those women are the absolute worst, like they're the absolute worst to deal with, because society has pampered them so much. You got these simps chasing after them and praising them, and you got, certain men with money spoiling them, and, but you come across these women and they're terrible, man. Okay? Attitude, they narcissistic, okay? They entitled, they be assholes, okay? They feel like they above cooking and cleaning and doing wifely things, but they want all the perks, man. Okay? But just because, they look a certain way and they got the social media and they got these followers and, they got all these different men, okay, they're sponsoring their lifestyle, okay? This society make it to where if you look a certain way as a woman, you should be deified, man. You should be worshipped. You see, that Queen of Heaven spirit. Okay? So there's nothing wrong with looking nice, but there shouldn't be the end and be the beginning and the end of who you are and what you are, man. As the scriptures speak about beauty or being vain. Okay? Because of course, as a man, you want your woman to be put together. Okay? You want your woman to look like Warren Sapp. Okay? You want your woman to be put together. But that shouldn't be the beginning and the end of what she is. Okay? And in this society, this thing got played out, man. As men are getting back into, their masculinity, man, that type of woman serves no purpose, man. Okay? A woman with no skills, but putting on outfits, man. Okay? And and making an appointment for brunch. Nah, man. If men tap back into that masculinity, that type of woman value is plummeting, man. Okay? So, I think that's in Proverbs. Yep. This is Proverbs 31 and 30. It says, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Okay? And those are the women that's increasing in value. All right? Hey, sincere women that fear how about Shema Shah. Okay? Because beauty can be vain if that's all you got. It's a look that you didn't even give yourself. Okay? You see? So, going back, when you go back to 1 Peter 3 and 4, it said, let it be the hidden man of the heart, which is the spirit, the inward man. You know, and the truth is cultivating our inward man, our spirits. Okay? And this truth has humbled us down, because we all was full of ourselves to some degree, you know, some more than others. Okay? We come from society, okay, where everyone has this main character syndrome, but this truth humbles us down. Okay? It makes us see that, hey, this is bigger than, we're a part of something that's bigger than us. Okay? And ultimately, we don't deserve a damn thing. You know? We're the chosen people based off the Lord's goodwill. Okay? These promises, he didn't owe us nothing. He gave this to us off his goodwill, off his goodness, man. You know? So as we understand these things, we begin to humble down. You know? That meekness, man. Understanding, like, okay, you know, we all at the mercy of Yahweh Shema Shah. You know, and we should be in the spirit to show appreciation, man. And that's why we're serving. That's why you see brothers serving like they serving, because it's appreciation for what the Lord is doing, man, and what He's going to do based on, you know, prophecy, man. Okay, so a woman that's in that serving spirit, okay, that's a beautiful spirit to be in that humble spirit. Okay, coming in that spirit of meekness, man, and the Most High is pleased with that, man. You know, as women are really starting to see the value of men, you know, the Israelite woman, you know, you few sisters that believe, the Lord sees that you starting to see the value of the Israelite man, and that's pleasing to Him. Okay, as the Israelite man is seeing the value of Yahweh Shema Shah. You know, it says, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the Most High, a great price, man. You know, so those things are pleasing. How an Israelite woman treats her husband, okay, that's how she serves the Lord. Okay, it's her treatment towards her husband. Okay, and if it's a situation where he's unbelieving and he's not right, the Lord gonna intervene. Either he gonna convert that man, or he gonna make other arrangements. Okay, but it got to be suffered, okay, until the Lord intervenes. Okay, because we're all suffering in some situation until the Lord intervenes, man. Okay. It says, verse 5, it says, for after the manner in old time, the holy women also, who trusted in the Most High, ordained themselves, okay, adorned themselves, being in subjugation, okay, to their own husbands. And you read this in NLT. This is how the holy women of old made themselves beautiful. So beyond putting on, you know, nice clothes and, you know, the hairdos and, you know, the accessories and things, okay, it's the conduct, okay, it's the conduct that the woman should be ordaining herself with. Just like the men, we ordaining ourselves with a particular, we are adorning ourselves, so like adorning ourselves with a particular, all right, conduct. Okay, the scripture say, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, is speaking about a conduct, a mindset, a perspective, humility. Okay, that's what we're adorning ourselves with. Okay, so it says, verse 6, it says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughter you are, as long as you do well and are not afraid with any amazement. And you look at our foremothers that was in the spirit, okay, they understood it was bigger than them. Sarah understood that, you know, Abraham needed heirs. Okay? She wasn't moving based on her emotions, how she felt. Abraham needed heirs. Okay? Even Judith, you know, Judith, when she did what she did, she was doing that to preserve her people. Okay? Because Judith was straight. You know, Judith was well off. Okay? But she put herself in harm's way to preserve her people, man. Through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah. Okay? Abigail, she did what she did to preserve, all right, innocent people. Okay? She put herself, all right, in the wrath, between the wrath of King David and his men and those innocent people, those innocent Israelites, man. Okay? So they always had a big picture mindset. It was beyond them. And all those women were well off. Okay? Because you have now, because in the nigga culture, you have the broken women talking about they're independent and this and that. But no, our foremothers, those women were straight. Okay? But they had completely different mindset. You see? And that's part of those old paths. You know? So, going to verse 7 said, likewise, ye husbands dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Okay? So, we have to understand as men, you know, that the woman, all right, she's of a lesser rank. Okay? And we understand that even as men, that, you know, the woman is not going to be on the same level that we're going to be on when it comes to particular things. And also you have to deal with her according, you know, as the lesser rank. You see? Because the Lord expects a different dedication from his men, from his son. Okay? A different level of understanding. Okay? And the woman, I say with the woman, the main thing with a woman in the truth is, the main thing that women need to learn in the truth is to be a woman. And if you got a man, you need to understand that man. You know? That's the main thing that women have to grow in, because it's a science to being a woman. It's a whole deal, you know? That's why women didn't work, because being a woman was a career. Okay? The woman didn't work just so she can lay up and drink and talk shit. No, she didn't work because being a woman was a career. Okay? Which this society has destroyed their role for the most part. You know? To where you have women who never even seen their role of a woman playing out real time. Okay? But now as we come back into the truth, okay? and we both know as men and women what's expected. Okay? We should be tapped in into what's expected of us, man. You know? So, reading on, it said, finally, be you all one-minded, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous, man. And these, I'm saying this, and these orders and this structure was going out, man, to keep the peace, man. Okay? Because you guys say you get into this, you know, husband hopping and all this, it's chaos, man. You know, all it produces chaos. Okay? And this thing and these orders going out in love, man. You see? Because order produces peace, man. It creates an environment of growth. When you got order, you got peace, man. Okay? And it says, verse 9, it says, not rendering evil for evil or railing for railing, but contrariwise blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing. All right, read this in the NLT. It says, don't repay evil for evil. Don't retaliate with insults when people insult you. Instead, pay them back with a blessing, That is what the Most High has called you to do, and He will bless you for it. For the scriptures say, if you want to enjoy life and see many happy days, keep your tongue from speaking evil and your lips from telling lies. Turn away from evil and do good. Search for peace and work to maintain it. Okay? Because we done had enough chaos coming from nigga culture, man. Coming from black culture. Like, we should, have our fix when it comes to dysfunction and chaos, man. Okay? But applying this wisdom, it produces peace. It puts us in the place of peace, being in order. Okay? Even when things don't make full sense. Okay? Stay in order. And the Lord will come and make it make sense when the time is needed. Okay? But now, man, it says search for peace and maintain it, man. That's one of the few things that I go to war about is the peace. The peace that I have in this truth, I protect that dearly, because it puts me in a position to be profitable for the body, which is pleasing to Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai, And it says, verse 13, it says, and who is he that will harm you if you be followers of that which is good? And if you suffer for righteousness' sake, happy are ye, and be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled. Okay, because you had, persecutions, getting started at the time. The Roman Empire, was starting to get hostile with the followers of Yahweh. Okay, so he's letting them know, prepare your minds. And if you do suffer for righteousness, happy are ye. Because Yahweh, because that's what was told to Peter and the disciples as they was following Yahweh. When you go to Luke 6 and 22, it says, blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you and cast out your name for evil for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice ye in that day and leap for joy. Behold, your reward is great in heaven, for in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. So we're suffering because we are living after Yahweh. We're following Yahweh in righteousness, and we suffer for that. That's a token that we're going to be rewarded. You see? That's why I say, hey, happy are you. If you suffer for following me, Yahweh is telling the disciples who will become apostles, if you suffer for following me, great is your reward in heaven, man, in rulership. Okay? So suffering for Yahweh, that's a privilege. You see? That's why even the apostles, when they got beat, okay, for teaching in the name of Yahweh, they rejoiced, man, that they was worthy to suffer for Yahweh, man. So, and that's the mindset we got to go into these times with, man. We don't want to be offended because we get put in an awkward situation based off what we believe, man. Doing the right thing, and we don't want to be offended. Like, nah, we got to have the mindset to suffer it, man. And rejoice in it. Look at it as a privilege. Okay? Get our doors kicked in and, losing cars and houses because we don't want to bend the knee to this beast system. We don't want to denounce Yahweh. Okay? Hey, being homeless for Yahweh, man, we gotta get ready to rejoice in that, man. Okay? Hey, easier said than done, but that's the mindset we have to be cultivated in, okay? As we get ready to go into these times. All right, going back to 1 Peter chapter 3. And 15, it says, but sanctify the Lord power in your hearts, okay? And be ready always to give an answer to every man that asks you a reason of the hope that is within you in meekness. Yeah, so we have to understand what we're a part of. To be able to teach these things, we have to fully understand what we're a part of, man. We should be able to teach these things in a simple way, with meekness, man. Okay? We should be able to always explain what we believe and why we believe. Okay, if need be. Okay? That's why we got to constantly go over the basics, constantly examine ourselves. Do we really believe? Okay? Are we really, are we fully persuaded? Okay? Verse 16, it says, having a good conscience, that whereas they speak evil of you as of evildoers, they may be ashamed that falsely accuse your good conversation in Yahushua, because it's going to get to the point to where even as we, are persecuted and Esau goes with his slander, there's going to be people that know us, all right? You going to have certain Israelites, that been watching and know us, and, certain places we frequent, and they're going to be won over because they know, okay, those men are nothing like that, So this is why even our conduct off camera is just as important as, when we teach on camera, you see? Because the Lord gonna use all of it, man, for the sake of the elect, man. All right? We be Israelites coming in at the last hour, So we have to become, while those Israelites in the world, we're constantly becoming more and more what we're teaching, man. To the point to where this is just who we are, man. You see? And that's edification within itself. Okay? So, reading on, it says, for it is better if the will of the Most High be so that ye suffer for well-doing than for evil. Because there's going to be a different suffering for those that are evil, man. Because they got to deal with the wrath of the Lord. Okay? We're being perfected through suffering. See, their destruction is meant to destroy them. Okay? That's where you get the 1/3 and the 2/3 when you go here to Zechariah 13 and 8. It says, and it shall come to pass, all right, that in all the land, said the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the 3rd shall be left therein. And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them, and I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai is my power. So you get this word fire, all right, in the Hebrew, which is ash. Okay, it said fire, flames. But when you go to the last definition, what it said, the Most High's anger. The Most High's anger. Okay, so we in the time where the Lord's anger is kindled against this society, man. Okay, and when he goes forth in judgment, all right, we'd rather suffer, and be chastised now. Okay, to go through what we got to go through now. Okay. Mercy in the time of wrath, man. Okay? When the Lord really opened up on this society, man. Okay? We're going to fall into the Lord's mercy, Lord, in favor. They ain't going to have to deal with the wrath. So, yeah, we got, that straight gate. But that straight gate ain't going to be nowhere near, okay, like the Most High's anger. Okay, that these people have to deal with, man. That's going to suffer for evil. See? And it says, and I will bring the 3rd part through the fire. Y'all read this. Get back to Peter. So we want to be part of that 1/3. Okay, that's going to receive mercy in these times, man. Okay. This is 1 Peter 3 and 18 said, for Yahushua also hath once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to the Most High, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened in the spirit, by which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison, which, He got a bugged out church doctrine as he went to hell and had a sermon. No, okay. When he came to his people, all right, we was in prison. First, we was in the captivity in the Roman captivity, and our minds was in prison, man, under poor leadership. Okay, Jake didn't have an understanding of the gospel, the prophecies, man. Yahweh Shai was breaking all those things down, you know. And he said he was coming. When you go here, okay, when you go to Luke 14 and 18, I started 16. It says, and he came to Nazareth where he had been brought up, and as his custom, all right, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he opened the book, he found in the place where it was written, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, all right, because he have anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He have sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and the recovering of the sight to the blind, and to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. Okay, and you read this in the NLT. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. Luke 4:18 NLT. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, for he has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He have sent me to proclaim the captives be released, or the prisoners, that the blind will see, all right, and that the oppressed will be set free, and the time of the Lord's favor has come. Okay? So when he was preaching, all right, even when he was doing those miracles, they were still symbolic of us being spiritually blind, because he actually healed the blind and made the deaf to hear. Okay? But spiritually, what does that mean? Okay? Us in this time, in the spirit of Yahweh Shai, open the eyes of the blind, making the deaf to hear. Okay? Releasing the captives from prison. Okay? Was the prison, was these enchantments. Remember, the power of darkness. We have been translated from the power of darkness to this marvelous light. Okay? And the powers of darkness had our minds in the prison. Okay? We were set up for absolute failure. Okay? Before we came into this truth, into this light, man. You see? And then you read verse 20, says, and he closed the book, and he gave it again unto the minister, and sat down, and the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. And he began to say unto them, this day is this scripture fulfilled in your eyes. Okay? So when he said he preached to the souls in prison, he was preaching to Jake. Okay? Because we was in hell under the Romans. We was in prison. Okay? And ultimately, our minds was in prison, man. So the same scenario in New Rome, okay, where we're physical captives to this system, okay, and we were mental captives and spiritual captives to the enchantments of this system, man. But through Yahweh Shai, we've been loose. Okay, we've been loose. Okay, so he didn't go to hell, all right, and give a sermon, all right, like Apostle Hart said, even, you know, like, who gonna turn that down? And you in hell? Who? It's a sermon about you being free. Okay, the whole population of hell would have been loose, man. Come on, man. But ain't no hell. All right, no place where you burn forever. Okay. Tripping, man. All right. Just back in 1 Peter 3. And 20, it says, which sometime were disobedient, okay, when once the long suffering of the Most High waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was a preparing, wherein few, that is 8 souls, were saved by water. The like figure whereunto even baptism, doth also now, all right, even baptized, doth also now save us, not the putting away of the filth, okay, not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but the answer of the Most High the answer of a good conscience toward the Most High by the resurrection of Yahweh Shai of Mashiach. Okay? So just as Noah, which Noah called, the scriptures call him a preacher of righteousness. Okay? And those souls that were saved through Noah preserved, okay, the lineages of the earth, but the chosen lineage through Shem, and eventually who will come through Shem? Yahweh Shai. Okay? The salvation from the second death, which is the nuclear destruction. You see? So, as you read on, it says, verse 22 says, who is gone into heaven and is on the right hand of the Most High, and angels and authorities and powers being made subject unto him. Okay? Because everything is being made subject unto Yahweh Shai. Everything is under his foot. Okay? Excluding the Heavenly Father himself. You know? But this is where we at. Alright? And Yahweh Bashim Shai, okay, is getting ready to wrap this thing up, man. Alright? As we're a couple of days from the so-called New Year. Alright? And we see things are getting ready to go, okay, into another gear. Okay? So, yeah, that was the point. You know, just wanted to bring that out. And we'll keep going on in the book of Peter. You know, Lord will, chapter 4 tomorrow. And Lord will, you brothers and you sisters are edified, man. You know, because these epistles of old, all right, they hold a lot of weight, okay, and a lot of value and a lot of insight, you know, for how we should be moving today. You know, as we make up those churches, okay, the body of Yahweh Shai. All right, so Lord will, you brothers and sisters edified. Till next time, I say shalom.